Hello, I'm Vi Maeers, the Director of the Centre for Teaching and Learning, and I'm sitting here today with Meigen Schmidt, who is from the Research Ethics Board. And she's going to be talking to us about some of the ethical considerations for new technologies and how this relates to our work at the Centre for Teaching and Learning. In part is that we have many instructors who are trying out different technologies in their teaching and put things up on the internet or put things in some kind of digital format in a public place, and sometimes are not all that knowledgeable about some of the things that they should be thinking about. So Meigen, I'd just like you to give us in a few minutes some of your views about what we should be thinking about regarding ethical considerations.
Okay, well thanks, Vi. I think in just briefly talking about probably what I'd say are some of the guiding principles that we look at in terms of the Research Ethics Board when looking at research, I see a lot of overlap around some of the things around emerging technologies. So one of our guiding principles is respect for human dignity. So it's ensuring that people are understanding and treating them respectfully in terms of the kinds of things that you're asking them and what kind of information you're asking them to share. Another one would be around informed consent. So it's ensuring that they have the full information about where their information is going, what kind of information requests that you're going to be having, time commitments, all those kind of things can factor into a decision on whether someone wants to take part in something, and in fact how much information they're willing to share as part of those discussions or as part of, say, an on-camera thing, or in terms of online discussions, that blogs that may be available to be seen by other people. The last one I would talk about kind of fits in with that, and it's about the respect for privacy and confidentiality. So by ensuring that you've given people the full information at the onset of a project, that really allows them to make decisions about how personal information they want to share, how it will be shared, whether their names will be used, all those kind of things to ensure that there's no surprises later and that there's no feeling like information that they may not have shared otherwise has gone up. So I think those are probably the ones that I would really say. In terms of some of the other, in terms of emerging technologies, it is a little bit of a look at security measures. So even as a non-computer expert, and I would say that of myself, it's having some understanding of the security issues of certain technologies and how easily data could be shared with third parties. Looking at web encryption, where server locations are, those kind of things. So things that you may want to consider as part of that.
Yeah, and you're on YouTube right now, and we gave you a consent form.
Yes.
So is that something we should have in our classes, just have ready in case we end up doing something of this nature and it becomes public? Should we get a written consent from our students in the classrooms?
Sometimes we will suggest that in certain instances where not necessarily does it have to go through the REB, but it's more to ensure that both you and the student are understanding where that information will be distributed. So there may be instances where it's to the benefit of both parties, just to ensure that all that information has been clearly laid out, and whether there may be some more personal or private settings in terms of doing that, or whether they are comfortable with having it done in a more public setting, say YouTube, where other people will see it.
Yeah. And of course there's always the professors themselves, I'm sure in some cases, and the students who are on Facebook and sharing a lot of personal things about themselves that we don't know anything about, and they're obviously not covered through any ethical clearance or ethical considerations. So what happens if our students at the University of Regina, for instance, are doing things on Facebook or involved in something that they shouldn't be in? Is it?
I think there's always the caution around really understanding how your information is being shared. I think lots of people have Facebook and all those kind of accounts, and it's how much information are you willing to share with the whole world, and what are things that maybe only certain family and friends would see that you wouldn't want necessarily everybody that knows you to know. And so I think that's always the considerations around privacy and confidentiality, and having that understanding at the onset what it is exactly you're sharing and who may know that.
Do you think, though, at some point the Centre for Teaching and Learning perhaps needs to have some responsibility in making instructors more aware of their legal rights and the ethical responsibilities of putting things on Facebook or anywhere else on the net, and then in turn, hopefully, the instructors will work with the students, because I think a lot of the students don't really know. They can't, there's a blur between the personal and the professional, and they don't really make that distinction very clearly. And the stuff might go up today that next year they wish they'd never put up, but it's there now. So I'm thinking they need to be more of a media literacy, or I was going to say immediate media literacy, you know, on some of the things that they should be thinking about.
I think that's one of the things I repeat a lot is communication is the key. Is that it really is about sharing information and ensuring that what you've understood is what they understood, and that full information is given so that someone really can make the best informed choice at the time. That I think there's an opportunity for lots of areas to try to give input on those to ensure that people are really understanding what the issues may be around certain technologies and what kind of information is valuable to people as they're working with those things.
That's great. Well, thanks, Meigen, for coming today and sharing all of this. It will go up on YouTube and the world will see it, but thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you.